Now, let me talk about this. Yesterday was the 28th anniversary of the horrendous Dunblane School massacre, which took place near Stirling in Scotland in 1996. For Brits, there are few more enduring mysteries than the Dunblane massacre, where local pervert and connected to the establishment man Thomas Hamilton shot dead 16 pupils and one teacher and injured 15 others before killing himself. It remains the deadliest mass shooting in British history. The reason it is enduring is because people know we have not been told the truth about what really happened on that March day. Mystery surrounding the event is likely to last beyond our lifetimes, as files have been sealed regarding Dunblane for 100 years. Some were opened several years back following a pushback from people, but most of the information was redacted. We are told it's common to seal files involving children for 100 years, but I'm not buying it. They redact so much information that they can also redact the information regarding the children, but that is not what is going on here, and people know it. The reason the files are sealed almost certainly is because they contain names of people involved with the English and Scottish establishment, including politicians, royalty, and the judiciary. So yesterday was the tragic anniversary of Dunblane, and I received an email from viewer Anthony, who wrote, "Hello, Sonia. The anniversary of the Dunblane Massacre is this week. I have never believed the official story. Would be great if you could comment." Well, you and me both, brother. But first, an interesting fact. Did you know that tennis star Andy Murray and his brother Jamie were actually at the Dunblane school when the massacre occurred, and they were unhurt? So, Thomas Hamilton, the shooter, well, unquestionably a child abuser, and his history and connections have been covered up and assisted by the official report that followed. This was the Cullen report. It misses out so much detail that I can't even begin to address it in the time that I have here, but I'm able to tell you enough so that you can go and look and see exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, Thomas Hamilton had a history of being a pervert. He was a head of several youth clubs. He ran scouts, but only for a short period of time. He claimed he was subject to persecution because of the rumours about him. On 19th March 1996, 6 days after the massacre, Thomas Hamilton's body was cremated and far away from Dunblane, we were told. So the Cullen report, which followed as a result of the massacre, well, it made a number of recommendations, including introducing tighter controls on handgun ownership. There was heavy public campaigning, and the then Prime Minister then followed with this by introducing the Firearms Amendment Act in 1997, which banned all cartridge ammunition. It left the .22 caliber, which was later banned by Tony Blair. People believe that all handguns are banned all over the UK, but that's not true. In Northern Ireland, they are still permitted. So there are parallels between this story and Jimmy Savile. You may not be surprised to hear. Some people are deeply concerned about Lord Cullen's report and the omission of the connection of the Queen Victoria School. A former housemaster of the school has long raised concerns about this. He said that there were very well connected people known as the Friends of the Queen Victoria School who were allowed to take the boys out of these schools at the weekends. They wandered around the schools. They were in dormitories. This housemaster found condoms in the school, in the corridors. And on the day that he actually resigned, it was interesting. It was a grand VIP day, and Prince Andrew was actually there. He was a VIP on that day. But it's interesting that the Cullen report fails to acknowledge the connection between Thomas Hamilton and the Queen Victoria School. And some people suggest that it is because of the governance of the school at the time. At the time, the people involved in the governance of the school were also involved in the inquiry, and that includes Michael Forsyth, who was Her Majesty's Commissioner at the time of the shootings, and he was appointed He actually appointed Lord Cullen to do the inquiry, and his predecessors, Ian Lang and former Defence Secretary Malcolm Ripkind. Many consider the Cullen report an absolute whitewash. There are obviously issues with the sealed files, and the issue really truly is there was a whole Masonic lodge operating around this. The silence is absolutely damning, and the greatest justice that we can do to the victims of Dunblane, the greatest tribute we could pay those victims, is for the truth to finally be told. And I'm starting it right here. And on that note, let's get the news headlines from Gemma.